Hello! Perfidious Pete here, back to explore the darkest depths of a serial killer's darkest fantasies in what remains of Edith Finch. Last episode, I wondered just how deep the rabbit hole goes, man, but honestly, I never really thought that the rabbit hole would go this deep. This baby is down in the subterranean
I
depths.
slithered onto the sand,
Uh-huh.
and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Oh, delightful. An old pipe where you no doubt stashed the bodies of your victims later in life. I'm telling you, this Molly kid, I knew she was down in the dark, but she's actually in the subterranean depths with the freaking Morlocks, man. And the hole that she's crawling through is filled with the gnawed bones of the unborn children of her victims. How did she eat the bones of the unborn? You want to find out? Just ask that rabbit we talked to last episode. And now I guess we're gonna go into this pipe in this weird cave because apparently a bird, 2 rabbits, a seal, and 3 merchant sailors weren't enough to satisfy Molly's hunger. And I'm assuming that the hunger Molly keeps talking about here has nothing to do with her getting sent to bed without supper. That's just an excuse. This hunger she speaks of is really nothing more than an extended metaphor, symbolic of her unquenchable thirst for blood. The darkness lurking in Molly's soul, it makes the most reviled of Lovecraft's elder gods look like tales suitable for nursery children. And you know what? This sounds kind of vicious to say, but I think maybe it's a good thing that Molly died at the age of 10, because left unchecked, who knows what she would have developed into. She could potentially have been the next, like, Jeffrey Dahmer or Charles Manson, or I don't know, maybe like a James Earl Ray. She was definitely, at a minimum, she was a Ted Bundy. And I think maybe her parents knew that if they left her unchecked, she would grow up to become a monster that makes other monsters afraid of the dark. And she would have been a bride of Cthulhu. That's what would have happened if her parents hadn't dealt with her. And it makes me wonder if at the age of 10, maybe her parents, rather than leaving her fate to accident, illness, or injury, weren't just like, you know what has to be done has to be done. And they came to the realization that they had given birth to an unholy, godless abomination and felt compelled out of a sense of duty and regret to just put her down, Old Yeller style, for the good of all mankind. I'm guessing that's what happened. In the meantime, let's crawl around this gross old sewer pipe. Because the delicious smell coming from the sewer pipe, yeah, I mean, that follows, right? Sewer pipes are constantly full of delicious odors. You know, unless you're a tentacular elder abomination crawling. Oh god, she's gonna crawl up somebody's toilet and eat them from the inside, isn't she? We're about to watch a tentacle probe into someone's anus, then she's gonna insert herself amoeba style through said anus and devour them from the inside. This is... I knew it. Okay, I mean, I said last episode that this was gonna devolve into tentacle porn. And I think here we are. We're here. We've arrived. Except we appear to be in our own bathroom. Yeah, we're in our own bathroom. So is the delicious smell tooth... She's gonna eat her gerbil, I know it.
I got closer and closer.
She's gonna eat her parents. This is what it is, isn't it, Molly? You are gonna eat you're gonna eat your parents. She's gonna eat her parents. I know it. She's gonna devour her own parents. It's the circle of life. They have given birth to the abomination that ultimately spelled their doom. I'm assuming this is a drawing of just hacked apart bodies and limbs and murdered and tortured animals. Can I get a closer look at this drawing? Yeah, I mean, there's clearly at least one victim lying on what appears to be otherwise a beach scene. It's just a dismembered body at a beach. Can we go under the... Aw, man. I wanted to go... Whoa. Tentacle got double back on there. There's a picture of a fish that I'm sure she later on went up to murder and dissect. Okay. Can we crawl up on stuff? I wonder if we can crawl up on the bed. Let's get some ectoplasm on the sheets. Ectoplasm, Pete? Maybe not ectoplasm. Let's get some, like, mucoid secretions on the sheets, though. We gotta defile the bed. Oh, we could go under the bed, though. Oh, God. We're gonna be the monster under Molly's bed? Well, first we're gonna devour the pigs and chickens. Our little barnyard scene. Ha 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 ha. Who wants to be pork sausage? Wait, she made a little farmyard diorama and there isn't one single shot of the farmer wielding a murder mallet? Shouldn't there be a farmer standing next to these pigs and chickens with a pneumatic hammer just waiting to bash their skulls in so that he can bleed them out and string them up, make them into bacon? This kid is dark. There's no way there's not a murderous farmer in her farm scene. I just refuse to believe that. Did she say all of my stomachs? Yeah, that says all my stomachs. It sounds like a terrible, terrible culinary-based daytime drama. And now we return you to All My Stomachs. It's like, well, I mean, basically it's the daytime TV equivalent, except it stars like Gordon Ramsay as the founder of a culinary empire and his recalcitrant children who are always up to shenanigans and hijinks and the drama that ensues. They're a family of the world's elite chefs. It's called All My Stomachs. NBC, if you want to hook me up with that, I'm telling you, give me a call. We'll pitch the idea. We can get an idea meeting. It's going to be beautiful. Ooh, what's this? Are you an interactable or is that just a reflection? That is just a reflection. All right, let's go see what's up with the cast of All My Stomachs. Who's going to play Gordon Ramsay, though? We can't have Gordon Ramsay play himself. Gordon Ramsay's a busy guy. He can't be Gordon Ramsay as Gordon Ramsay in NBC's All My Stomachs. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure Mom and Dad will fill him up real soon.
Suddenly, that was me again. I held my breath for a long time.
Murderous, murderous me.
I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Deliciously vile? I will be deliciously evil. It will chew my darkness, and it will subsume my darkness into its own. And together we shall be united in an holy union, and our spawn shall rise forth upon the earth.
That, but I'm sure Edie
We will devour, and when the earth has been destroyed, what remains of our children will writhe amongst the bones in eternal agony. Yeah, that kid is fucked up. Let's close the book on that one. Yeah, can we, please, yeah.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here.
Mm-hmm.
Before my mom sealed the doors.
I got the sense that Molly was creepily put out of her misery at the ripe age of 10 because her parents knew it was the fucking right thing to do rather than unleash her upon this earth to become the godless abomination and the mother of all that would destroy the entire civilization of mankind. They didn't want to leave her unchecked, so they're just like, we got to do it. We got to fucking put her down.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Yeah, the twisted, evil, darkened part that was clearly the tentacular beast lying on her bed. Some part of Molly was still here. The darkness. Because while she is a fragile hunk of meat, the darkness in her soul is eternal, echoing out through the universe unto eternity. And one day, she will be reinstantiated in mortal form, and on that day, Cthulhu's bride will rise again, and their children shall writhe among the bones of the fallen forever. Pete, you made it real dark. I made it dark. I made it dark. Come on. I think Edith Finch just encouraged me. That's all. It was the nudge I needed to take it to a dark place. Let's get out the window here. So are we going to transform into a cat now? Nope. We are not a cat and therefore cannot walk out amongst the trees. Okay. Well, good reuse of assets, though. Edith Finch, nice job. We're going to get to see all of this twice. Man, the view is spectacular.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past.
Mostly because your mother knew that your ancestors were monsters and she hoped you would find a brighter path?
She was the one who named it Molly.
I'm assuming your mother was like, we don't, you were like, Mom, what about Molly? Whatever happened to her? And she was like, oh, we don't talk about Molly, Edith. We won't talk about Molly. Okay, so we get a view back down into the library. Although the entire Finch household is, in fact, one monstrously huge. Why does our vision get weird and red over here, but if we step forward, it gets all sepia? What's this all about? Did we step into an Instagram filter? Apparently, we stepped into an Instagram filter. Okay. Well, the view, though, is spectacular. One thing I can't I mean, I've really been enjoying Edith Finch. This game is great, but the graphics, man, I can't find single fault with this. I mean, the Molly Tale was fucking creepy and horrible, but this really is a very visually striking game. It looks great. See, this is why Molly had to die. They couldn't have her becoming a digital form and uploading herself via satellite so that she become Cthulhu's digital bride, and the unholy worms she would devour would actually be like code worms that would go forth and bring the internet down, give birth to Skynet, the monster that would devour us all and writhe amongst the bones. They knew Molly had to die before the development of the digital age. That's why they killed her in 1947. Right after mankind sort of started being like, you know what, maybe we could reach out into the universe a little deeper using all this technology we developed in World War II. Her parents knew. They did the right thing, too, by the way. I'm not faulting them for murdering their own child. They clearly had no choice.
Time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
There are a lot of bird cages in here. Like a shocking and disturbing number of bird cages with photos of what I'm going to assume are dead birds inside them. Well then, I guess we know where the rest of the family got the idea for imprisoning the spirits and souls of their departed ancestors forever. Looks like Grandma Edie had the idea first.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
How could anybody hide in this room unless you were going to hide inside a bird cage with the soul of a dead bird? Which one are you? Furpy. You lived for all of 3 years. Definitely Zerpy, who also lived for 3 years. Why do all these birds only live 3 years? Oh, okay, this one, the Purpley, lived for 6 years. Also, that bird is mostly white. Lurpy. Wait, there were 2 birds named Lurpy? Oh, that's Perpy. Sorry. Perpy, Zerpy. Purpley, Lurpy. What's your name here? Rob. Oh, Rob was not a bird. Rob was a lizard? Rob was apparently an iguana. Did the iguana eat all the other birds? Is that the tale that Grandma Edith is trying to... She had Burpy, Lurpy, Rick, Steve, Erpy, Snurpy, Derpy, and Verpy. But then, you know, she bought Rob, and he just slowly waged a campaign of slaughter and wandered around and ate all the other birds. What are Rob's dates? 1991. Well, this bird outlived him, so Rob at least didn't get Purpley. What was your name again? Zerpy? Zerpy lived in 95, although Zerpy was an owl. Zerpy was probably too big and too fat from eating a steady diet of impregnated rabbits for Rob to get a hold of him, but that's okay, because there's a snake over here named Bob, 1980 to 1984, although Bob appears to have been a garter snake. He probably didn't get the owl either. Burpy. What are you going to do when you run out of letters, Grandma Edie? What if you have 27 birds? How are you going to come up with another name? Oh, well, we'll just go for Junior, and thus we have doubled our potential output. 26 letters of the alphabet to put in front of the word Erpy. But also, in case you just use one without a prefix and have it be Erpy. This bird lived till 2006, but, you know, you double your output there from 26 to 52 if you just start throwing in juniors. Also, this is real weird, Grandma. Why we gotta have all the shrines to the dead birds? I mean, some of these... Well, this bird was like 20 years old. Okay, this one I get. These other birds that lived for like 4 minutes, how attached could you possibly have gotten to them? Also, they're birds. It's not like, you know, a bird will come greet you at the door with the newspaper and your slippers at the end of a hard day, make you feel loved and appreciated. It's just gonna sit in its cage and chirp at you. Invisible Cities, The Dreams in the Witch House, The Finches, A Falling Flock, In Water Black, Fury, Starship Gemini, Liftoff. All of these books seem really dark, like maybe she confiscated these from Molly's library. The Magic Mountain. Okay, we've seen most of these books before. There are only so many book assets in the game, and they're getting received like A Tale of Tales. Why does A Tale of Tales seem like it would be a metafictional book, probably an anthology of short stories that actually looped back upon itself? It would be an anthology written in such a fact as to be a Mobius strip of a book so that you got to the end and went to go back and start it over from the beginning. Gotta be like a metafictional work. Monsters of the Deep? Well, we've been one of those as well. So, Grandma had an air tank. Alright, so clearly she was on supplemental oxygen at the end of her life. Mole Man Beneath the Finch House. Or call me crazy, possibly just a man who had a tumor cancer of the nasal passages and had a nasal tumor. Win a family day out at Druid World. Shit, Disney. One side. Move that shit over. Epcot Center and all your fantastic Disney enterprises, the Magic Kingdom. Make way, because it's all about Druid World, where you get to go out and stand in a field next to some fucking big rocks. That's the future of family entertainment right there. Standing in a field next to big rocks. I'm sure Druid World was a huge success.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Was there, in fact, actually a mole man living beneath the Finch house, though? I think this is the more relevant topic. Because, was she angry because the story was false, or was she angry because Edie gave away the secret of the mole man? Given what we saw in Molly's room, I wouldn't at all be surprised if there was a colony of mole people living under this house. I mean, it would be fitting. What kind of videotapes we got here? Edith to make trip? Wait. What does this say? Edith Jr. Lake trip. Oh, gotcha. Sam Photo Award, Conspiracy Now, Sam Medal Ceremony, Home Movies, Weird America, the... Wait, what is this word? I cannot make out what the fishes? The Finches. Oh, Weird America, the Finches. Huh. My Friend Bigfoot, Edith interview, random junk. I think that pretty much categorizes everything in this room, actually. Some shrine sketches. Sam and somebody's wedding, Sam and May's wedding. Dawn's poetry recital. Another Edith interview. Molly concepts, the mysteries of death and thereafter. You know, that said mural sketches, but for a split second there, I saw M-U-R and my brain immediately, given that this is the Finch clan and I just seen the word Molly, immediately went to murder sketches. And when I saw Barbara concepts, it immediately went to Barbara corpses. This game's making me do dark things, man. It's taking me to a dark place. Built in 1937 by Sven Finch. Edie won't go. 72-year-old woman refuses to evacuate because of a little forest fire.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Or just a batshit crazy old woman who's one of those people that other people, residents of an area, use as a cautionary tale. Be like, remember back in old 72 there when the fire done come and...
He told people Sven was killed by a dragon.
Uh-huh.
She could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Because she was a crazy old woman. Yet, I remember crazy old coot back in 72 when the fires come and everybody said, we got to get off the island, it's going to burn to the ground. But old Edie, she stood her ground against Mother Nature, spat right in that fire's eye. Of course, it burned her alive and she ran around shrieking with her hair on fire, wishing goddamn she had left the building. But no. She wanted to stay by her husband and what dragon that killed him. Dragon kills Finch. Tragedy strikes Finch family. Celebrity turns to something. Also, why is the man next to the picture of the statue, why is this guy so fucking happy and stoked? He's like, hey, look, a guy's crushed to death under here. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Can you believe anybody's that stupid to get smashed by their own stupid wooden dragon sculpture? What a time. You're an asshole, man. That was my grandfather. Dick. Let's see what these videotapes are all about.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
What, that's it? I mean, can we watch this tape? The power's still on, right? Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, I haven't actually seen any evidence of power. And when we were downstairs earlier and flipped the light switch, they didn't work. So the power actually probably isn't on in the Finch household. What else we got? Sven's hard hat. Got taxidermy, which I'm assuming is not limited to just Molly. Every member of the Finch clan is probably really into that. There's the slide. Oh, good. We actually got a photographic evidence of the moment when the dragon slide killed Grandpa Sven. Well, that's a thing to preserve and cherish. I guess it is technically Grandpa Sven's last known photo, so... Is that a picture of Grandma and Grandpa Finch up there? Yeah, probably at their wedding. Also a picture of one of the dwarfs, I'm going to guess Saw-y. And his friend No Facey. Saw-y and no-facey. These were the 9th and 10th dwarves, of course. Pete, don't you mean the 8th dwarf? There were 7. Wouldn't this be the 8th and 9th dwarf? No, the 8th dwarf was Stabby, who you can see in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. That's Stabby, the 8th dwarf. He's the one who murdered the other dwarves and brought the count down to 7. There used to be way more than 7 dwarves, and then, Stabby went to work down in the mines. So Grandpa had more plans for his architecture on the house. All right. It's a picture of a baby writhing in what I'm assuming is its own amniotic fluid, because that seems like what the Finches would be
Even
into.
in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
So what you're saying is your mother was an old fuddy-duddy stick in the mud, huh? Okay. Well, we found the most hideous purple bathroom of all time. Call me crazy. I actually don't want to go walk on that fucking rich pink shag because I'm pretty sure it's going to gross me out. Let's just wander around Grandma Edie's room for a minute more. Got her slippers under the bed there. She forgot to take her pills on the Tuesday she died. Probably what killed her. Got some paintings here. What were we painting a picture
died
of?
a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Then she died too, because that's what happens to the Finches. They all gotta go! Also, the fact that she only completed him with part of a nose and no fucking mouth. It's like he has no mouth, but he must scream. Because he knew what the Finch family was all about. He's like, I am a Finch, and I have no mouth, and yet I must scream. Edie was also painting him on, like a woodcut slab. Maybe, I don't want to, I don't want to challenge your artistic integrity, Grandma Edith, but you ever consider maybe just canvas? Possibly. Something a little more mundane for someone's last known memorial photograph.
It was like a museum.
Yeah, I'm not ready to be Grandma Finch yet, which I think is what's going to happen when we read this book. Mysteries of Death and the Thereafter. Oh, this book was written by Odin Finch. Well, I mean, I suppose if anybody's going to know the mysteries of death and thereafter, Odin would be that guy, since he will hang upon the tree and wait for rebirth to come. It's part of his whole mythos. There's the shark we were just a minute. Nope, that's a tiger shark. We were a great white shark. Well, actually, that shark is a newspaper shark, so maybe it's appropriate Norwegian folk tales. All right, let's go look at the world's filthiest bath. Man, the pink shag, though. I can actually feel the disease creeping onto my feet, walking on, because this carpet is nothing but an ocean of scattered piss and shit. This is just urinary and fecal particles soaked deep, deep into the shag.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Well, I mean, and probably the urine and feces,
it was a
Edith.
pretty big trace.
Yep, the urine and feces, definitely. Like, she peed on the floor a lot, that shit soaked into the shag, and now it's here forever. Mount Rainier National Park. Everybody really loves, really into Mount Rainier National Park. Also, how come there's no... We've seen some horrible stuff in the Finch household so far in our adventures, but honestly, I think this mirror without a mirror is the most horrible thing we've seen to date, and I tell you why. What does this say to me? The fact that there is no mirror in this mirror frame? That the Finches are so deep, dark, disturbed, and horrible that they can't even abide seeing their own reflection. They'd be like, I can't look into the mirror. All I do if I gaze into that mirror is gaze into the darkened depths of my own soul, and what I see therein is a horror that I cannot abide. No, this mirror must go. Man, Grandma Edie was taking a lot of pills, though. A lot of pills. Any fun pills over here? Anything we might maybe get our hands on? All right, then. What's the bathroom look like? Oh, good. Boy, they really cleaned up nicely. All right, once again, Pete has come to his video game paradigm. Why is every video game bathroom disturbingly filled? And why is there a bottle of wine in a bathroom trash? I'd also like to point out. Somebody doing some secret drinking. If we open up the tank of this toilet, are we going to find a bunch of stashed liquor bottles in there, Grandma Edie? I mean, I don't want to judge. You were 90. You can do whatever you want. If you got an addiction problem, that's... You dealt with it successfully. 90's a pretty good run. But why is every bathroom just always shockingly filthy? If my bathtub looked like this, I would take a flamethrower and burn my house down. And there's a sponge and cleaning products right there in the tub, man. Clean this shit up. This is disturbingly filthy. Why you gotta live like this? Clean your damn bathroom. Look at the mildew all over that grout. Just one time, and you know what? This is such a common trope that it's almost become my goal in life. The sinks at least are sort of clean. Although there does appear a little mildew creeping around under the edge of the rim there. And the faucets could use a little polishing as well. But this is almost my mission now as a video game enthusiast. I want to find one video game. Just one, where I can go into a bathroom and just have it be clean. Just be like, this is a place where I would feel free to urinate or defecate without fear of catching gangrene. I just want to find one clean bathroom in all of the digital universe. One clean bathroom. That's all I want. Let's see if our key opens anything here. There's a secret in the bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch. Well, this is what our key unlocks. Is this going to take us to a fantasy world?
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look.
It's a pop-up
It
book.
isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Cool. Wait, I don't want to go through here, though. I didn't beat Grandma Edith yet. Can I go back? Okay, I can go back. All right, I was gonna say I didn't get a chance to be Grandma Edith yet. I don't want to go be Grandma. I don't want to go be somebody else right now. You know what? In fact, I think this is where we're gonna wrap things up. Looking at the timer on this, and episode's getting a little long. So, if you want to see what the secret of the pink bathroom is, I'm personally hoping that the secret is that this leads to another cleaner bathroom. But if you want to find out what it is, you know, might consider subscribing as well. Drop a like down in the comment section if you enjoyed it. Right now, one clean bathroom, man. One clean bathroom. I'm going to go meditate on it. I'm going to visualize it in my head. If I visualize it, put good vibes out in the universe, some game developer somewhere will go, you know what? What if this bathroom isn't encrusted in globules of feces? I'm going to make this one be clean. If I put out good vibes will come back to me. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.